Cool. Here we are.
Hi, beautiful.
Hello.
Okay, guys, welcome. Sorry, you can tell I'm a bit in overwhelm mode. Welcome to our one of our most amazing medical intuitive graduate interviews. This is Ivana. I've known her a very long time. We met in the theta healing world, and then she continued some of her journey because she also works full time as well as being an incredible healer in the medical intuitive container with us. And I've seen her go from strength to strength. She had like a huge breakthrough of working through and releasing a lot of her depression as well. And she gives some amazing, amazing, amazing healings. So without further ado, I'm going to let her introduce herself to you, and then we'll go from there. Go for it, Ivana.
Thank you very much, Sky, and thanks so much for having me. It's just such a pleasure to share a little bit about my journey and my work as well. So, hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me, yes, my name is Ivana, and I've been a healer for the last 4.5 years, and so I'm a master theta healer. But I've got roots in shamanism as well, and love crystal healing, and also there's quite a bit of journey in Buddhism in my past, so of
Wow.
Buddhism. So yeah, that gave me lots of wisdom, let's say, or I discovered lots of wisdom about life. But yes, we are here to talk about the incredible medical intuitive course and my journey. And for me, I really love this technique, and it did really help me so much on my own journey. And I started using that, incorporating that in my own practice with my clients, as well as theta healing. But it's just a different approach, as you probably already know, or you will find out during this interview, definitely, because I will tell you some interesting things that, for me, it was very interesting to realize certain things
So
about
yeah, tell me.
healing itself.
Let's just go with the flow, darling. Tell me what
Okay,
came up for you. And I'm the same. I still do theta. I still like what. There's different things that call to me, like hypnosis is second
exactly.
as well. So tell me, it's all a bit of a dance, isn't it?
Great. Yeah. Dance, that's really interesting that you used that word, because dance is definitely dance and passion. It's like these background words for me that are really important, because in my past, so I've been through quite a lot, as many people do. And it involves poverty as well. It involves abuse. It involves, financial difficulties, things like that,
Yeah.
broken down relationships, just like, so many people have these problems. That's why I guess it's good to talk about it. And because it's really important. It has been really important for me. I've always wanted to, even in the misery, I wanted to find happiness. I had some hope that there was a better way, that there was meaning to life, and it's not meant to be this way. This, living this horrible life, which was
Your
mostly,
experience.
what I've been through, but also learned behaviors. And so that is why healing for me has been really important, and in each stage of my life, of my own healing, and even with my clients, I see that different modalities have different functions, have different place. That, yeah, so I understand that you still use theta healing, because it's sometimes it's just very just one thing that you're meant to use for the person. Yeah, but for me, so the medical intuitive, how it's different, how it's been different to other, or why I needed that in my life now in comparison to other modalities, is because so I decided, I was very drawn to you, because everyone who follows you, they know that you are kind of I hope I
Help
can
me.
say, you kick ass. You are
Oh.
strict in a good way. I call it strict compassion. You come from a place of love, but you are strict. You say it how it is, and through that you support people on their journey. And I felt like I needed you, and I felt like I needed also the technique to learn that, because well, it's in the name, a medical, and of course I wanted to deepen my intuition, but for me, I really wanted to focus on my health as well, because you know I'm still struggling with weight, excess weight, but I know that I am on the right path now. So, which again in a second I will touch on that how. But so I decided, because I've abused my body so much in the past, that I decided to do this course for myself. Really, I didn't even think about clients at that point. I just wanted to really change something in my life. And, you know, it was, for me, it was a commitment to my health for the first time in my life. So I guess that's why I decided to jump into it. And it was a big commitment for me, even financially, because I was struggling with money. So it was like saying to myself, right, I'm doing this for myself, for my life. And it felt really good, because, you know, within a month of the start of the course, I guess the changes that I started seeing was, of course, the amazing content of the course and your guidance. And I think within that first month, you did a healing on me, which was just incredible. But also I started seeing that there were things in my life I couldn't put up with. And people, you know, it's just suddenly my boundaries suddenly got really important and really strong. And actually that's kind of the basis of my work with my clients now, is the boundaries thing, you know, because so many people, they don't realize how their boundaries are not, they don't hold them strong. And they don't know how to say no. And, you know, even the F word sometimes needs to go out to the world, even, you know, because it's harmful if you don't have good, strong boundaries, but flexible, of course. You know, you need to be flexible and let people in who deserve that, and who also you deserve. But it's really, really important to have strong boundaries. And I kind of realized that within the beginning of the course. Somehow, I don't know why, even somehow it's just, things just started breaking down in the right way, you know, as they should. And I knew that I needed to, even with so many, like quite a few years of theta healing and other things, there was that depth I wasn't able to go into yet. And so I still had these issues, you know, and that's basically what it got down to. And I had to kind of dismantle, I'm gonna say, a lot of things and build new foundations.
I hear you, because for me with theta, my depression was the first thing that theta healing healed. When Anna pulled me up on that stage, it was my depression that went first. And I remember thinking, oh my God, there's actually something that can heal this. You know, and I was like, I've been carrying this for like, God knows, you know, since I was 10, and suddenly this woman just pulled it out of me. That's Anna's power, right? And then it's like you said, like, I think especially with illnesses, especially around the immune system and excess weight, you know, I also think especially depression or anxiety is about letting people put their emotions on you, or their feelings on you, or their versions of the truth. And like you said, having a lot of people in your life who aren't there because they actually love you, but are there because they're using you, no matter how much pink paint they're pouring on it.
Yeah. And I would use myself as well, in a way, abuse myself, abuse my body, you know, because that's the behaviors I had. What was I going to say? Yes, so Anna pulled out the depression out of you, and you pulled it out of me. But I realized that actually lots of illnesses, when I started doing the sessions with my fellow students, they were a lot about mental health, actually. it's all the illnesses of the mind. That's where that starts, right? And that's how you then make those decisions to actually make your body ill, your body sick. So so that was an interesting realization. But about depression, just to touch on that experience for me, a week before our session, I spoke to a friend, and I was quite desperate. I spoke to a friend on the phone, because depression is one thing that you can't really stop it. You're trying to be positive, and you're doing all the things to be positive and to be strong, and but it's just there, and it's very strange how it's there, and you just can't shake it off. See, even for a healer, it's like you can't shake it off. And I was talking to a friend, and I was really desperate by that point, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna sound dark, but you know what, I don't know if this is life. I can't carry on like this. If this is life, this is not right. This is not life, actually. Yeah. And if my whole life is gonna be like this. And she told me, yeah, you just have to accept it, that you are depressed, and you're going to just have to keep going with this. And you can call me anytime, and I will support you. You can talk to me, but it's never gonna go away. And when she said that, I just thought, I knew it was her belief, or a lot of people have that belief, but something in me was like, no, right, no, if this is like, no, this is not possible. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this live, and I'm not falling for this. And then we had the session a week later, and it just melted. Yeah, it just melted away. Yeah. What else was interesting thing about what I realized was that, and I am very quite strict, maybe my clients don't even realize that I do that, but it's the dissociation thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I didn't know I was dissociated or dissociating, from my
body,
from my feelings. And there was this moment when I was doing a session with someone. They were doing a session on me, and I realized that they told me, no, just stay there, don't go, just stay there with her. When I was my wounded self, when I was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, just stay there with her and just let her feel it. Just feel it. And I thought, this is strange. I never actually felt what it's like. That, how I felt. So it was a lot of things that I felt at that point, at that moment. But it's very fascinating how people can think that if they don't feel through things, or they're afraid to feel. I actually love feeling, even if it's pain, even if it's painful for a minute, then the reward is so massive when it really does melt away in the end, that feeling, because you let it pass through you. And that for me was very significant. Yeah.
The association was a beast. And to be honest, it didn't really dawn on me how strong it was going to be until we were in it, kind of together, just how big the connection between dissociation disease had come through. Like, I'd done a lot of work with it in Judy Dragon's work and theta healing, and her moving beyond trauma. But when we were doing it as a collective, it was a completely different energy. And I was simultaneously working on a lot of different courses around parenting my son. And one of the books that I was reading was called Discipline Without Damage. And she literally in that book said, we are every age we've ever been, right? Every age. And I think we are everything we've ever been, not just every
goosebumps.
age,
when you say it.
So I really, I think getting vulnerable, like I said, with accepting where you are with any wound, and accepting that there are so many different parts, and that it normally doesn't make up where we are. And like you said, the feelings, because I don't think it's just feelings with our wounded self. I think it's feelings with people that hurt us. It's just, we are so afraid of our feelings.
Because feelings are also demonized by the society. For example, I work in the corporate world and I am a highly sensitive person. And over the years, I mean, I'm kind of okay now, stabilized. But sounds awful, I think. But I used to be a terrible mess. I just couldn't cope with that level of everyone around me, they managed to be calm and collected and I couldn't. And it gets so vilified if you show your feelings, and so but I realized, so I used to also put down my own feelings and criticize my feelings, but now I'm like, no, actually I love feeling joy. And the thing is, once you shut out feelings, you shut out good feelings as well. So I have had to relearn how to have fun. What's actually fun?
That was the hardest part of Brené Brown's work, was when I was reading her work and she was like, there's a chapter called foreboding joy, where she talks about not letting yourself feel the joy because of previous trauma or because fear of future trauma, and how it stops you from feeling joy, period. It was that one and the one where she talks about not being able to love someone else more than you love yourself that made me go, oh, this is not cute.
Yes.
There's a lot of work to do there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yes, and so dissociation and feelings, it's definitely something I just I'm strict about. When I work with my clients, I make them I make them connect.
Connect and muscle test and be
Don't
there.
make them, no one's ever gonna go to a session with me anymore after they hear this chat. But
it is not true.
I'm gonna tie you to a chair.
No, it makes people feel safe. I'm not kidding. Like when you don't let them lie to themselves, and you also don't let them abandon whatever aspect of them has come forward. And I mean, we only do this to ourselves because it's what people did to us, right? You cried when you were little and they sent you to the naughty chair or the corner or your room. So when a part of you cries, you do the same thing. You're like, go over there, do whatever you're going to do. And it's exactly what was done to us. So, when we actually go, no, this is how you can deal with it, it starts to happen even subconsciously.
Yeah. And it kind of becomes actually easier, definitely easier, but I'd say even easier, because we make things worse in our head sometimes when we don't know how to do something. But that's how important it is to connect to your healer, to really feel that connection, that trust, right? Because not everyone is right for you. They are right maybe for other people, but not for you. And trust, it's one of the most important things.
It's hard with conflict in general because we're so hardwired in spirituality to avoid conflict altogether. Yeah. And also, like you said, the belief that if there is conflict, it's because something wrong is happening. Whereas the reality is that conflict is a part of growth, and that you can't set a boundary without somebody challenging it at some point. And God knows I'm learning that with a toddler, right? Because he's just coming into like year 6 months. He's moving straight into the whole boundaries mode. If I want it, I can have it. So it's like I said, it's so fundamental that babies learn it at like second year on earth.
Yeah.
So I completely hear you. But the moment you said it, trust me, they will test it. And it's like we said, if you can't hold it, then it won't stand.
That's true. Yeah. Yes. So it's very interesting. It's been very my healings on clients have really changed, actually, even, I don't know, not long after we started the course, because I think what you did as well was you helped us be confident, or you helped me be confident as a healer, because before I knew I was I think I've been told I was giving great healings to people, but I was always nervous before the session, but very nervous actually. Now people find out when they hear this, but I was nervous, you know. I thought I didn't let go completely. Obviously, it's the creator, you know, it's the higher,
Yeah,
the
higher power.
divine. Yeah, the divine consciousness that is doing the healing. I'm just the channel, I'm just the guide. But I would always be like, what is gonna happen today? But now I really, I know it's gonna be smooth. You know, I know. Yeah, it's very interesting how different my healings are now, that they just feel very smooth for everybody, and
I think, like, I remember I
just
worked on you
flowing.
with so many things in different theta healing classes, both as, because it was, we were working through that, like, you know, a theta healing school. So both as assistants, but also as colleagues, it was, and students, it was a big mix because theta healing is a big thing.
Yeah.
And well, you were always a really good healer. It was just like you said, like, but for me, it's the same thing. Like, I think, like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I think confidence is something that we always do struggle with.
Yeah.
I've never met somebody who doesn't, on some level, struggle with confidence, you know?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I wanted, that I thought that you could speak to, or that I was guided on you speaking to, that would help or serve people, because you always come across as bubbly and warm
A
and
bit of a
kind.
comedian. So
Yeah. And that is the same thing for me.
yeah.
And people would never assume that you had struggled with depression or you had struggled with so much sadness. And, you know, I wanted you to speak to that, because how much people just assume or judge based on how someone looks or how much of a smile they have on it, like what they're going through. So speak to that, because I think you've got such a deep healing to give there.
Definitely. And I think part of my journey in future is as well helping people with that, helping people to really accept themselves and how they awesome they are, as they are, you know.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I call it divine awesomeness, you know. We are all divinely awesome. And it's about allowing yourself to actually get over yourself. And feel, allow yourself to even feel pleasures in life, you know, like just enjoy life. By that I mean enjoy life, enjoy whatever you do. And but for that you need to accept
Who you are.
who you are with love, you know. You accept, and that allows you to then go deeper and actually love and appreciate. And then that's one thing I noticed about myself is, and it will be part of my future work, or it already is starting to be part of my sessions, is that I lead, and I want to lead people to using their intuition for everything. And I know this is something that might not sound I don't know, super different. But what I mean by that is really use intuition for what do you eat, you know, how, but until you accept yourself and love yourself, and then feel that intuition, what's right for me, you see, and you kind of let go of the voices of others. I let go of following a lot of people, comparing myself to people, and I actually I encourage other people to do the same when they work with me in the right way, you know,
Yeah.
to
No, I
learn to use their intuition.
it's not like you and your light will always be unique. There isn't,
Yeah,
like, this is one of the things that I learned through so many years of theta, is that you can teach the same class in theta and different teachers are
yeah,
completely different. But it's like what you said, you don't, nobody has to reinvent anything. You know, intuition is something that's under taught, under nurtured, not understood. And there, we need every single person on it. So any part of you that's going, that's not unique enough, that's not special enough, rubbish, that is perfect.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's about being you and putting your spin on it. And and pouring your love into it. If it lights you up, that's what you came to do.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And people will get it through you that wouldn't get it if they were standing in front of Jesus himself. You are locked to other people for your key, you know, who get it in that way. Which can be hard, I think, for people to, not hard, I think insanely difficult, I think, for people to trust in a world where you're just put in cookie cutters and told be this way or be that way, or, which I find is all of us, right? That's what we were taught for 20 years.
Yeah. And I couldn't cope with that, quite frankly. That's the thing, you see. I couldn't cope with being, you know, put in a box and this is who you're meant to be, what you're meant to behave like. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is so let's just do the last part of it, because we're coming to the end now of our half an hour. You know, you said you have plenty of challenges. You're a very strong woman in the corporate sector. You lead training programs and many other things for a lot of people. So nobody would associate you going through what you went through. And you said your favorite bits were working through dissociation and really feeling your feelings, and connecting with that for the first time, and boundaries, right? What would you say, because you had to do that before you knew how? Like when you decided you wanted to join the program and go forward, you had to set different boundaries, both financially and work-wise and on your time. You had to do what you said you really didn't know how to do. So what would you say to those people who are like, well, I want to, but I don't have anything looking like boundaries. I'm not sure what's going to happen. You know, and I already have other modalities and stuff under my belt. So what speaks to that?
So if you have other modalities but you still don't have the boundaries, then you know, that's just showing you something. It's about actually really thinking about what you really want in life, what you deserve, what you really deserve. Do you really want to? Because life, so if we create our life, you know, and life can be amazing. Obviously, there are external factors to it. People, you know, they can hurt us, like there are still wars in the world and things like that. But within your control, there are so many things you can control, and you don't have to think about whether you are ready or not. Sometimes you just need to jump in. So actually, that's what I realized not a long time ago. It started annoying me when someone or even I said, "Oh, I'm not ready for this," or "I am ready." What does that even mean? You know? Just what do I want in my life? In what way do I want to carry on? If I'm in this place, but I want to be elsewhere. Well, taking action is just it's very powerful. There are consequences to everything. You know, the law of cause and effect is really it's a very powerful law. So which way do you want to? So use it in your advantage.
Well, that's what you said. Like, look at the shift in that conversation with yourself. One is, am I ready? And self-doubt. And the other is, what do I want? And I'm in control, and I decide and I choose. But they're very, very different vibrations. You know, very, very different vibrations. And it's even when you know what you want, it still takes a lot of energy to go after it and create it. And, you know, like I said, courage to put aside that time and that energy, and the faith that it takes is a big deal.
So take one step and don't think about the whole journey, because you don't even know what the journey is going to be like. It's going to change so many times.
Yeah, and it's not about you. It's not necessarily even about the modality. It's about you deciding that it's time. You know, because the miracle's already happened. It's just that you decide when you're ready to receive it and how it's going to come.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Ivana. I love you so much. I really enjoyed spending so much time with you and getting to know you better as well. And I wish you the best of luck with every single thing that you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you too.
Honestly, keep
I'm
me
so
in the loop
grateful.
with everything, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what you do. Okay, guys, let's
Thank you
do a
so
quick
much, dear.
closing prayer. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Oh, okay, guys, if you feel guided to work with the beautiful Ivana, her link to her Instagram page is underneath. And when her beautiful website comes out, we will pop it underneath as well. Okay. Yeah, really focus. Like, this is a woman that's a good woman to work with anything in. She's been a healer for a very long time in Theta, long before she tried medical intuition. And like she said, she's no nonsense. She'll get to the root of what's going on. Okay, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us for the interview, and I could not be prouder of Ivana.
Lots of love to you all.